guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and tonight was Monday Night Raw. But before we do that, the sound of opening a fresh, tall monster. Let's see how this sounds on microphone and whatnot. Let's see. Oh, didn't really pick it up or anything. It wasn't. Usually it goes pop. Usually it pops. That one didn't pop. Damn. I waited and saved that just for you guys, and it didn't even pop for you. Well, that's a little bit of a letdown. But with that, tonight was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a good show. A show that, again, for like the third week in a row, flew by. Didn't feel 3 hours. It just flowed very well. It seemed really, smooth. And so that's a good thing. We got some news coming out of this show. An interesting end to the show. Not really sure where the creeds play in with Cody, but yeah, I thought overall a good episode of Monday Night Raw. We'll see what you guys think in the live chat, both on Twitch and YouTube. Remember, you can watch the show a number of different ways, whether that's live or later, live on Twitch, live or later on YouTube, or listen on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, head over to YouTube and do a couple things there. Hit the subscribe button so you know when we go live or post new videos. Hit the join button to become a channel member to support the channel, or donate a super chat. Super chats make sure that your questions, comments, or concerns do get read live on the air. They also do highly keep the channel going, so I do appreciate that as well. Also, I want to say thank you to Jack Dawson for the Twitch bits. Really do appreciate those. But also head over to the Epic Game Store. Remember to head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're buying a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Remember, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Whether you're pre-ordering Skull and Bones that may or may not come out on February 16th. Whether you're getting bucks for Fortnite, because there's 3 new modes in Fortnite. There's a Lego Survival mode. There's the Festival mode, which is basically Rock Band, and there's Rocket Racing, which is basically you take Rocket League and turn it into racing. You get bucks for all of those because they all got their own special cosmetics and stuff. I just can't wait to swipe that card when we get Ninja Turtles in Fortnite. Both regular skins and Lego. Also, remember to claim the free games, Gigabash, and Predecessor, and put in this code PW Unlimited. We've got Monday Night Raw to talk about from, where were we tonight? Cleveland, Ohio, the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. The show itself did kick off with Jey Uso bringing back the Yeet. So there was a whole controversy over the last week of WWE found out that somebody had a trademark on Yeet. I don't know if it was a full trademark on Yeet just in general, and Yeet for Yeet in wrestling. There was a rumor that some indie wrestler recently trademarked it and then made a pro wrestling T-shirt with it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the issues were, but they've been resolved because Yeet is back. WWE posted a video on social media where Jay just said, the Yeet is back. And then tonight on Raw, he wore the blue Yeet shirt. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood. But with that, there was a recap of Drew McIntyre's actions last week. Jey Uso entered the ring, and the announcers ran down the card. Crowd chanted Yeet. Jay then said he got Yeet back and was excited about that. He was also excited that CM Punk was in the building and Raw would gain a real one if they signed him. However, they lost the real one in Sami Zayn, and Jay wished him well. So this goes in line. So Sammy's getting some time off. And we don't know for how long, but this goes in line with what Dave Meltzer recently reported, stating that Sammy asked for time off and the time off was granted. Jay also called McIntyre a two-face, and who was about to get got. McIntyre then entered. He had enough of Jay's kissing. He also warned Adam Pearce not to sign CM Punk. We see something with that later. Not to sign CM Punk because he would destroy this place from the inside out. A lot of references of him being, what's the word I'm looking for? A terror in the locker room? An infection to your locker room? Something along those lines. He then said he would be fine to SmackDown if Punk went to SmackDown. Crowd chanted for Punk. McIntyre told the fans that unlike them, he knew what Punk actually was like. McIntyre said that Seth Rollins got what he deserved, but he apologized to Zayn for being partially responsible for putting him on the shelf. McIntyre did want a little credit for at least leaving him with one good leg. He told Jay, that's how you apologize. He justified his actions and said everyone would want revenge on someone who wronged their family. But hasn't Jay already said? Well, I don't even have to defend Jay. Here is the only defense Jay needs. Bruh, I wasn't at Clash of the Castle. Bruh, I wasn't even in the country. Bruh, you be mad at Solo. Like, that's it. That's it. The Usos weren't even at Clash of the Castle. He's mad because he got screwed at Clash of the Castle. Jay wasn't even there. Michael Cole mentioned that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely with a partially torn meniscus. And this match did start between McIntyre and Uso in about 17 and a half minutes. Excuse me. So they went to a break about 30 seconds into the match. They came back about 5 minutes later after Jay hit a suicide dive. During the break, McIntyre slingshotted Jay into the steel the steel frame of the ring. I got that wrong. But Jay fought back after the break with some strikes and a Samoan drop for a 2. McIntyre dodged a running hip attack and hit a neck breaker. McIntyre went for a Claymore, but Jay caught him with 2 super kicks. Jay went for an Uso splash, but McIntyre got his knees up and hit a Future Shock DDT for a near fall. McIntyre removed a turnbuckle pad as the ref checked on Jay. Now remember, when they fought last, it was with a Future Shock that McIntyre won with. So this time, he couldn't win with a Future Shock. McIntyre went for a Claymore again, but Jay hit a spear for a near fall. Again, not a big fan of Jay hitting the spear if he wants to distance himself from the bloodline. The ref then grabbed the turnbuckle pad and was very casually trying to fix it as McIntyre raked the eyes of Jey Uso. He basically stuck his fingers right in his pupils. McIntyre followed with Claymore and pinned him to pick up the victory. Good opening match. I thought this was a good match to start the show. The promo stuff before it could have been a little shorter. Didn't need all of that. But I thought the match itself was really, really good. So this recap of CM Punk's SmackDown promo. They included the line about not being able to trust someone who randomly punches people backstage. We got a Shinsuke Nakamura promo. Nakamura said that he has been watching Cody Rhodes talk about finishing his story for weeks and weeks, but he is no closer to doing it. He was a dog chasing a car. As great as Rhodes was, it wasn't enough. Rhodes' lack of respect for him would be his weakness. He said Rhodes strived for the admiration of others, but Nakamura freed himself of that burden long ago. Now, he would paint his own story and bring Rhodes' story to an end. Nakamura was the real knight. Quote, always remember, you asked for this. I thought this was good. I liked this. But it's like, so Cody's whole thing is, I got to finish the story. Now everybody's got a goddamn story. Punk's got a story of, I just want a main event at WrestleMania. Drew's got a story of, I want to win the world title at WrestleMania in front of a crowd. Nakamura's story is, I want to win the Rumble and then win the title at WrestleMania because I failed at doing that last time. So it's like, it was cool when Cody's whole thing was, I want to finish the story. And it was specific to Cody because he had a story he wanted to finish. Now everyone's got a story, and Cody doesn't feel as special anymore. Cody saying, finish the story doesn't feel as special as it did. It felt very special to me. It felt like something that other people weren't doing, that it was pure long-term booking. Maybe took a detour that maybe I shouldn't have, but it's still the long-term booking. And it's like when everyone's like, I got a story. I want to finish my story at WrestleMania. I got a WrestleMania story. Is that the new thing now? It's not about having a big match at WrestleMania. It's not about main eventing WrestleMania fully. It's not about winning the title of WrestleMania. It's about finishing your story at WrestleMania. I get it. WrestleMania is supposed to be the end-all, be-all. It's where everything culminates. The show of shows. But it's just a little annoying and meh when everyone says, I want to finish my story. I got a story I want to finish. I had a story. And it's like, Punk's story is 10 years old, 12 years old. Yeah, he was gone for almost 10 years, but still. Nakamura's story. Why have you not been trying to finish the story 5 years? McIntyre's story. Why have you not trying to finish this story for 4 years, 3 years? You know? Cody never stopped trying to finish his story. He kept saying, I'm going to finish the story. I didn't get it this time, but I'm going to get it next time. I'm going to finish the story. I'm going to finish the story. All these guys all of a sudden were just like, oh yeah, I want to do what Cody's doing. I want to finish the story. It's just too much of the same-ish, I guess you could say. Jonathan asked about Luke not being on the show tonight. Luke, I think, will be on Wednesday. He had a personal matter happen over the weekend, and he needed to take some time away for. You know, school and life are more important than being on this podcast. But I think Luke said he's going to try and make the Wednesday Dynamite. So there was Judgment Day, having a meeting backstage. Finn Balor said that he and Rhea Ripley weren't there for 1 week, and now the wheels have all fallen off. Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough lost to the Creeds last week, and Dom lost his North American title. Damian Priest said that it sucked that Dom lost the title, but it also sucked not showing up to Raw, referring to Ripley. Priest said that he and Balor would take care of the Creeds. Ripley heard Priest calling himself a leader, the boss, but that was easier than actually being the leader, being the boss. Ripley got in his face and said that she was tired of the disrespect. She planned on making an example of Maxine Dupree. Alpha Academy and the Creeds hyped up Dupree for her match. Ivy now says she would join her at ringside, just in case she needed it. R-Truth then showed up with some Christmas decorations for the Judgment Day. Chad Gable warned him, be careful with the Judgment Day. They're not what you think. He informed him that he wasn't actually in their group. That's what Chad told him. You're not in their group. Truth assured Gable that he was in their group, and they were just misunderstood. He then walked off and said, Happy Thanksgiving! And they're like, Thanksgiving already passed. So then we got a horrible Rhea Ripley Maxine Dupree match. I don't know what the crap was going on here, but it's like Rhea couldn't get Maxine up. She struggled 5 different times to get her up. Like, what? Huh? So at one point, Rhea's got Maxine for a powerbomb. She goes to lift her up, gets her about 3/4 of the way up, starts shaking, and then has to put her down. She smacks her a couple times, lifts her back up, barely gets her up, and then there's like a Hurricane Rana reversal. Rhea's supposed to go face first into the buckle, and she a foot off of that. Rhea then's like, fuck, into the camera or whatever in the corner. And then they go for another minute or so. Nothing's looking good. Rhea then grabs her for the riptide, goes to lift her up. Maxine again doesn't go up. Rhea then like struggles, halfway gets her up and just drops her ass and pins her. Then starts beating the shit out of her. Well, no, drops her ass, was gonna pin her, then just beat her up, put her in the prism trap, and then she taps out. So this match was bad. This match was horrible. This match, I don't know what happened. Like, was Rhea off of her game? Was Maxine dead weighting and not wanting to go up for Rhea? 3-4 times she tried to lift up Maxine and couldn't get her. Or barely got her. So, Rhea after the match didn't let go of the hold. So Niall hit the ring. They had a stare down and Ripley held up the belt. Yeah, this is bad. This is all just bad. Did it say that with Rhea? With Rhea Ripley of all people? I'm at a loss for words with how bad this was. So, we got a video package. Again, they told us Caden Carter and Katana Chance like to hang out at EDM festivals. They like to party at night with all the glowing lights and bubbles and all that. I've been to one of these. I worked it as a photographer earlier this year. I've been to one of these EDM festivals. It's no different than just going to a regular concert, but everyone's like half naked. Most people half naked. Some people naked. So, yeah. Like, I guess these two just like to party. That's what we know. They like to party. And yeah. So I'll just say right now, these EDM parties and festivals and stuff, all about drugs and sex. So we're supposed to think they like drugs and sex? Adam Pearce then walks into CM Punk's locker room, and Michael Cole lets us know coming up after the break, one of the biggest decisions that'll ever be made in the history of WWE could be made next. So then we got just a tremendous CM Punk Seth Rollins segment. I'm going to say it right here. So I watched this segment twice. Because I watched it when it aired. Then later on during the break before the Nia Becky stuff, I watched it again for context and stuff of exactly what Seth said for my notes. And I'm just sitting here going, wow. This right here, this segment right here made this eventual feud just seem leaps and bounds bigger than anything Punk did in AEW. Anything Punk did in AEW. And I had one person come at me because I tweeted that. And he's like, oh, well, you're wrong. I disagree. Well, what did he say? He said, so I tweeted, hold on. Let me read it verbatim. So I tweeted the following. I said, that's not the right button. During the commercial, I rewatched the Punk Seth promo for my notes, and I will say those two in that one segment made this upcoming program feel much bigger than anything Punk did in AEW. I then had someone comment on that and say, disagree. The MJF stuff was spectacular. My response, oh, it was, but does not feel as big as Seth Punk. It is a guy who used to be a fan of Punk who was let down by him as a kid versus a guy fighting for the entire company he loves not to be toxified. Seth's program is bigger. Now, I get what some people are going to say. Well, this is just copying Hangman. Hangman said he's fighting Punk for AEW. I get that. But again, the way Seth delivered it and all this stuff, it just felt bigger than anything he did in AEW. Anything. And I said this earlier on the wrestling wrap-up when I was reviewing NXT Deadline. I didn't particularly care for the CM Punk Cora Jade segment because it just came off as Cora Jade. Yeah, I'm a fan. CM Punk's my favorite all-time wrestler. Oh my God, CM Punk was complimenting me. So then when you go to the MJF stuff with CM Punk, it was all great. But when you're just like, I was a fan of you back in the day, it's like, oh, so you're fighting the old guy. Why are we supposed to care? Like, yeah, it's still good stuff, but it's like, don't bring up the fact that you're so much younger than this guy. Don't bring up the fact that when he was in his prime, you were still, in school, a kid. I'm just not a big fan of that. per se. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Especially the Cora Jade one, because it was super confusing of she returns and she does a heel thing by attacking the champion. But then all of a sudden she's a babyface getting praised by CM Punk and losing her shit. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, I was a fan of you back in the day and now I get to wrestle with you. Now I get to be a colleague. It's like, yes and no. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. At least Seth's been around so long that it's like he didn't do the whole fan thing, but Seth's been around so long that when he was in Ring of Honor, Punk was still in Ring of Honor. Seth's been around so long that he fought both Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega in a triple threat match in Ring of Honor. So Adam Pearce is in the ring and said that it was time for CM Punk to make a decision. Pearce has known Punk for 25 years and knew he'd make the right decision. Out comes CM Punk. Crowd chanted for Punk, but not as big of a reaction as I was expecting. And maybe that's because this crowd, I don't know what happened, but most of the show, especially the second half, this crowd sounded dead most of the time. I don't know if it was a quiet crowd. I don't know if this was a tired crowd. I don't know if they were mic'd badly, if it's just a bad building for crowd noise. But like, even when Cody came out, Cody's coming out for his match, and you can hear his music, adrenaline in my soul. And typically, you can hear the crowd singing it, right? But we heard no crowd until, whoa. And then immediately the crowd's just quiet again. Or like when Becky came out, no reaction. Crowd shots, and there's just guys standing there like this in the crowd. So this was I think, not super enthusiastic crowd. Now, when Seth comes out in a moment, they sing his song louder than they chanted for Punk. Anyways, crowd chants for Punk. Punk thought that he was in a sullen mood until he saw all the signs and heard the fans tonight. Punk has been thinking about this all week. He's been consumed and worried because he loves his fans. He said, I have to make a decision. No, we have to make a decision. He said, this town, this building hasn't been historically kind to him. Punk says that I debuted here in this building, had Mickie James by my side on my arm. And when I went to the back after my match, they told me we're signing you and sending you to OVW. He said, I didn't want to go to Louisville, but I embraced the uncomfortability. I embraced being uncomfortable. We're just going to Porky Pig it and go that way. And I learned to love it. He said he returned to Cleveland once as world heavyweight champion. But couldn't really do anything in the ring because in the back he was kicked in the head by Randy Orton. And when he woke up from that, he was told that you can't compete and you've been stripped of the belt. He said 10 years ago, almost to the day, he had to take himself off the hamster wheel and make the hardest decision of his entire life. He always wondered if people in the building were disappointed in him when he left. He spoke with Indy Hartwell backstage, and she felt betrayed as a kid. He told her a story of when he saw Roddy Piper appear on WCW and felt the same way when he was a young fan. Anyone watching felt disappointed when he walked out of WWE. He understands, and he apologizes. Punk said Nick Aldis made a substantial offer to go to SmackDown. Shawn Michaels made him an offer to help mound the next generation of superstars, but Pearce made him an offer that's above all the rest. That's why he has made his decision. Punk said, but even before all the offers, I already knew what my decision was going to be when I saw Cleveland on the calendar. He said, my future, our future, starts now. 10 years almost to the day CM Punk walked out. Now he is back home, right where he needs to be. He shakes the hand of Adam Pearce and says, if you're happy about it or mad about it, you better learn to love it. The newest Raw superstar is named CM Punk, and CM Punk is home. Talked about himself in the third person a lot tonight. Crowd chanting for CM Punk as he signed the contract, and I knew Seth was coming out when he goes to sign the contract. His music doesn't play. He gets up on the ropes. Yeah, his music doesn't play. And then we hear, burn it down! And out comes Seth Rollins, the world heavyweight champion. Rollins gets in the ring and goes face to face with Punk. Before any words are said, Adam Pearce gets between and says, this ain't happening here. Not tonight. No, it's not. Seth then asks for a microphone. Pearce gets out of the ring. Rollins grabs the mic and says, CM Punk, welcome to Monday Night. And he gets right in Punk's face. Rollins. Punk smirks at him. Rollins hoped that Punk knew how incredibly fortunate he was to be standing in that ring right now. Rollins said, quote, don't dare call this place your home. You abandoned this place 10 years ago. Not only did you abandon it, you actively tried to tear it down. You spent 10 years slandering me, slandering every single person in that locker room. And then you want to walk back in here and call this place your home? This is not your home. This is my home. Rollins said that everybody in the back were his brothers and sisters. Everyone watching was his family. This was their home, and he would do everything to protect it from people like Punk. Rollins said, to be clear, quote, I hate you. However, if you were going to be in WWE again, he wanted you. He said, I wanted you here on Raw because the truth always comes out. Everyone knew that this was Punk's last chance. He said one of two things are going to happen. Punk would expose himself and self-destruct, or if by some miracle he has changed and he has any gas left, maybe he'll be lucky enough to stand across the ring from him in a world title match, and Rollins would expose him for the fraud that he was. Rollins would wrestle circles around Punk and show him in real time what it means to be the best in the world. Punk then grabbed a mic and said, quote, that's your one pass for you to speak to me disrespectfully without me coming after you. Punk said that he's never asked for anything to be handed to him and was willing to earn it all and get things the hard way. Punk then says, if we're making things official tonight, Adam Pearce, where are you at? And he looks around. Pearce then quickly gets back in the ring and goes, Adam Pearce, I'm saying it right now. It's official. I, CM Punk, is entering the Royal Rumble. And when I win that Royal Rumble, I hope you're still the champion so I can face you for that title. Punk then drops the mic and leaves as Rollins smiles. It looks like we're getting CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Now, early reports were that they may have wanted to do that at the Royal Rumble, but no, WrestleMania. So now the question is, how do you get to Cody and Roman? Now, there's options here. Cody wins the Royal Rumble. Punk wins the Elimination Chamber. Or Punk wins the Royal Rumble, and somehow Cody's old buddy Nick Aldis gets him in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. He wins that and gets Roman. So there's options. There's options. And again, I've said this before. I love where the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is set because it makes sense why you have a pay-per-view. Because Triple H has even said it. I'm not a big fan of all these themed pay-per-views. But when you have themed pay-per-views for a reason to earn an opportunity at something, that's different. Royal Rumble match, main event WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber has now been established as, okay, whichever brand is not getting the Rumble winner, well, we're going to figure out in the Elimination Chamber who's getting the world title match from that brand, at WrestleMania. So I like that. So there's going to be one of two things. I feel, and I could be wrong here. Either Punk or Cody wins the Rumble, and then the other wins the Elimination Chamber. In Perth, Australia, that sold already over 45,000 tickets. And I've seen people go, well, Punk's got to win. They're not going to let Cody win 2 years in a row. They could. They really could. Cody could win 2 years in a row. It hasn't happened often. If I think about it, was Austin the only person that's ever won twice in a row? Let me double check that. Royal Rumble winners. I want to say Austin may be the only one. Let's see. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 97 and 98. No one else has won twice in a row. 97 and 98 with Austin. Then we had a big Bronson Reed against Ivar in a 7-minute, 45-second match. And honestly, I didn't get many notes here because not much really happened. Reed was standing outside of the ring. Ivar hit a cannonball off the top, which didn't look fun for either guy. They battled on the top. Reed hit a superplex and pinned Ivar. Again, I wouldn't call it a great match. I'd say it was there. It was fun. It felt fast. It felt way quicker than 7.5 minutes. And it's not much happened. Cool finish with the superplex and all of that. Big pop for that. Like, the last 2 minutes of this match were really good. The rest was just like, they were doing spots. They were just doing stuff. But like, the last 2.5 minutes, really good. The rest was just meh. Yeah, Fonzie, I know Austin won it 3 times. He didn't win it 3 times in a row. I was talking about people who won twice in a row. Only Austin. I know Austin's won it 3. So moving forward. Fonzie says, no. Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction. I'm wrong. I looked at this wrong. Sean won it twice in a row. I apologize. You're right. Sean won 95-96, which 96 was here in Fresno. And then 97-98, 2 in a row. Austin. Okay. Thank you for the correction, Fonzie. I totally forgot Sean won twice in a row. And just when I was looking at, oh, no, I'm wrong again. You're also wrong. Hogan is the first person to win it twice in a row. 90 and 91. Hulk Hogan won it. We're both wrong. I will admit that I was wrong. So in 90 and 91, Hulk Hogan won it. Then Sean won it 95-96. And then Austin won 97-98. And nobody since, I'm double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, nobody since has won it twice in a row. Yeah, and since then, since 98, I want to say only Triple H, John Cena, Batista, and Randy have won twice. No, Brock has also won twice. So 5 people have won it twice, but not twice in a row since Austin did in 97-98. Double check that. Edge, even though that's 6. Edge won it twice. I always forget Edge won in 2021. That whole year in wrestling was just a blur. Like from the whole pandemic stuff is a blur. But yeah, looking here. But let's see. Triple H won in 22 and 16. Brock won in 03 and 02 or in 22. Batista won in 05 and 14. John won in 08 and 13. Randy won 09 and 17. And then Edge 10 and 21. Or, my bad, Adam Copeland. And no woman has won more than once. Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, Ronda, Rhea. So back to Raw. Punk bumped into Judgment Day backstage and lightheartedly asked them, "Hey, where's Rhea?" Priest welcomed him to the show. Welcomed him to their show. Priest hoped that Punk was the one to finish his story because he'd be waiting to cash in on CM Punk. He then held up the briefcase. Then we got a Judgment Day segment without Rhea after a break. Priest wanted to remind everyone who they were. Very interesting that Rhea didn't come out to the ring with any of them, like any of this. This is very weird. So, Balor boasted about being tag team champions. Priest had a message for everyone. It didn't matter if you had been dealt with already by the Judgment Day. If you're a returning superstar or a new superstar like the Creeds, everyone is on notice. Dom tried to speak, but gave up because of the booing. Truth then entered. They tried decorating the clubhouse, but the front and back doors were locked. You wonder why they didn't invite him to the ring for their holiday party. JD screamed at Truth, so Priest told him to calm down. Priest invited Truth into the ring because he wanted to hear what he had to say. Truth said, "Oh, well, if I'm going to be honest, we need to kick JD out of the group because nobody likes JD." Truth also advised Priest to stop calling himself the boss because that makes mommy upset. Priest knew why everyone liked Truth, and the crowd cheered for him. At one point, this is great. So, Truth is in the ring, and he's on the mic. He's like, "What's up?" And then when the crowd does the "What's up?" back, Finn does it. He goes, "What's up?" Right? He does it, and JD looks across Dom and like pushes Finn. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I laughed so hard. JD's like, "Don't do that. What are you doing?" Priest said, "Everyone likes our Truth. Well, except me." Priest then clotheslined Truth, and they all put the boots to him before the Creeds ran out to make the save. They were, though, overwhelmed by the Judgment Day. Julius did fight back and hit Dom and McDonough with a double Northern Lights suplex. Julius then wiped out Balor before both Julius and Brutus dropped Priest with a double spine buster. So just further building up. They're the number one contenders. They're going to challenge next week's for the titles, and we go from there. I don't think they win. There's a chance, like a really good chance, but I don't think the Creeds win. We're in the back, and Punch approaches McIntyre, who was speaking to Pierce. McIntyre said that he didn't care about Punk's story or Rhodes' story. He was only interested in finishing his own story. McIntyre then walked off perturbed. Then Punk was like, "I don't know what I did to make that guy upset." Pierce said, "You did nothing wrong," and informed Punk that McIntyre was getting a world title shot against Rollins on the January 1st edition of Monday Night Raw. So that's big. We're getting Rollins and Drew for the title on January 1st. Then Kofi Kingston, Chad Gable, and Ricochet all walk up. Punk, super pumped to see his former tag team championship partner Kofi Kingston, and says, "Hey, you're making me crazy." Kingston laughed and said, No, I don't do that anymore." He hugs Kofi. Punk then shook Gable's hand and goes, "I've heard so much about you." He looks at Ricochet and goes, "I hear you're not good at video games." Punk then leaves, and the three of them, Kofi, Gable, and Ricochet, go into Adam Pearce's office. We wanted to discuss the idea regarding the Intercontinental Championship. Don't know where this is leading to, because in case I missed something on this show, didn't see another mention of this. Then we have Caden Carter and Katana Chance against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. It was okay. It was just an okay match. I think this show, match-wise, is the tale of two cities. There was really good matches at certain points. Like, certain matches, really, really good. Then other matches were just kind of there. I don't know what it was. And then mixed in with, like, the crowd not caring about half of this show. I could see if people didn't like this show. Because it was like, it was easy to watch, I will say that. But there was some stuff on it. It was like, this match didn't matter. This match didn't care. So nothing really happened in this match. Carter held LeRae for a neck breaker towards the end. Chance hit her 450. They called it the after party. And there we go. It was a little mistimed. As far as, like, not mistimed, but Carter had Candice out of position a little bit, and, like, Caden almost landed on her face. Yeah, it was not that great. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were on commentary. And then we learned that after this victory, Caden and Katana will be getting tag title shots next week. Cool. Johnny Gargano's in the back with Ciampa, and he was pumped that they had action tonight in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, especially after yesterday when he got to be at the Browns game, smash the guitar, and watch his team win. Ciampa then says, "You sure about this, partner?" And Johnny's like, yeah, he really wants this match too, so we're all good. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci show up. Kaiser's like, oh, I'm curious who your mystery partner is. And DIY was like, don't worry about our partner. Just don't worry about, he said, don't worry about letting down the ring general again. Gunther then showed up and also had some serious doubts. Like, who would want to team with the likes of you anyways? I guess we'll see you out there. Becky Lynch is walking around. She's heading towards the ring. Nikki Cross is just standing in a hallway behind her. Nothing happens. So Becky comes out to the ring after the break. Lynch wanted to cut to the chase immediately, and he's just like, Nia, get out here. She said they have never gone one-on-one, but they've been linked together for the past 5 years. She heard a clip of Jax punching her in the face and breaking her nose. Lynch said that it may be pretty to bring it up now, quote, but damn it, I'm petty. No, petty, not pretty. I'm petty. I don't know why I wrote pretty the first time. Lynch said that everyone that she faces tries to use that moment as a burn against her. But it was time that they got to the root of the problem. Lynch and Jax kept missing each other since it happened. Lynch went on to main event WrestleMania while Jax had double ACL surgery because, as Becky said, she said, Nia, you're so unlikable, your feet wouldn't even stand up for you. The crowd actually cheered for that line. Lynch said she had a child while Jax got fired. But it was 2023 now, and they're both here. Nia finally enters. Nia admitted that the punch, lucky swing. The lucky swing, because she didn't get all of it, and it still could have ended Lynch's career. She said, just imagine if I was standing right in front of you and swung with everything I had full force. Everyone was mad that she broke Lynch's face, but it was a contact sport. But we're in a contact sport. What did you really expect? Lynch said that she didn't expect anything less. Everyone knew that Jax was the most dangerous woman in the ring. Everyone knows when you get in the ring with Nia Jax, you can be injured, hospitalized, or even have your career ended. Like, that's a compliment and a dig all at the same time. It's like, yeah, you can beat people's ass. But at the same time, it's like, you are dangerous in the ring and sloppy and hurt people. So that's both a compliment storyline-wise, but a dig shoot-wise. Jack said that's why Lynch couldn't stop talking about her for 2 years while she was gone. Jax almost ended careers while Lynch should be thanking Jax for hers. Lynch said that it was only about a broken face, then the fans, if it was only about a broken face, then the fans would have moved on from her as soon as her blood dried. This was about dusting yourself off, fighting like hell, getting back to the main event of WrestleMania and winning it. That's what she's done her whole life, dusting herself off and fighting back. Lynch then said that Jax had her minions tried to claim that she wasn't a main event star. I'm like, who are Nia's minions? Nia's got minions? Who? Alexa Bliss? That's my friend Charlotte Flair? Like, who are her minions? That makes no sense. He says, now all Jax can claim is that Lynch was only, and now all Jax can claim is that Lynch was a main event star because of her. And that was a lie. And if she couldn't end the lie, she wanted to end Jax. Jax said that Lynch needed her more than she needed Becky. Otherwise, Jax would always just be known as the woman who made the man. Lynch said that she didn't come here to Cleveland to just talk. She came to fight. Lynch dropped the mic, put her hair up, and told Nia, punch me, hit me, let's go. And Nia's like, I don't need this, and walks out. So yeah, the match is coming eventually. Maybe January 1st. Sounds like they're going to build that up to a really big show. I mean, we're not getting the day one pay-per-view, so let's get the day one Raw. Actually, not a bad idea. Build up that Raw as like a huge pay-per-view quality event. I like it. Kind of like they do with NXT. You know, like New Year's Evil the next day. So just do it. WWE Raw, day one. Just call it day one, Raw day one. And then you got New Year's Evil the next night. Hype New Year's Evil big, which I assume they would. And yeah, actually, I don't hate that. Jackie Redmond interviewed the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Redmond asked her, what do you think of Punk being on Monday Night Raw? Rhodes congratulated Pierce on getting it done and was glad Punk and the fans were happy. But the Rumble was right around the corner, and you can't finish two stories at once. And they both are aware of that. Redmond then asked about Nakamura. Rhodes would be excited about this encounter, if not for Nakamura using the mist, which comes into play later. Rhodes learned how vicious he was, and that was fine with him. Rhodes said that Nakamura claimed that he asked for this, and quote, "You're damn right, I did." And then we had our six-man tag team match. It was Imperium against DIY, or as Michael Cole called them, DYI. And so Gargano and Ciampa come out, and Wade goes, "Look, Cole, it's your favorite tag team. Do yourself it. Do yourself it." And Michael Cole's like, yeah, I messed up. So Gargano and Ciampa come out. Imperium's ready in the ring. And then we wait. Who's the partner? I came to play. It's a price to pay. Out comes The Miz. And both Wade and Cole are like, that's the partner? They're going to team with The Miz? And then they like try to justify it. And they're like, well, Miz is the one that brought Ciampa to WWE. And he just had a great match with Gunther at Survivor Series. And he wants another shot and this and that. And it all plays together. And I'm like, I hate when they say so-and-so brought so-and-so to WWE from NXT. No. They're not two different universes anymore, as much as they used to be. Black and Gold was, yes, its own universe for the most part back in the day. But now, the NXT we have and Raw and SmackDown, it's just a third brand. I would not call NXT its own universe anymore. It's the third brand. Granted, it's lower tier. It's the Truck Series of WWE. The Craftsman Truck Series of WWE, but regardless, I don't know. I didn't like that line by Michael Cole when he's like, The Miz is the one that brought Tommaso Ciampa to WWE. No. He may have brought him to Raw, but Ciampa had already been in WWE for like 4 years before that, killing it in NXT. Face of that brand with Johnny. Like, again, no, I don't even get into that. Like, Black and Gold was just, I miss it. It was such a moment in time. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa as the champion. Johnny just having spectacular takeover match after spectacular takeover match after spectacular takeover match with everybody. Undisputed Era and their rise to Adam Cole becoming, in some's opinion and mine, greatest NXT champion of all time. Now, some may say that's Ciampa. Some may say that's Finn Balor. I still under the assumption and the thought of Adam Cole, greatest NXT champion we've ever had. Ciampa, second. Finn, third. But it's like Black and Gold was just ROH on steroids, basically. It was like, this is what ROH should be, but just could never get to. And granted, there was a lot of ROH guys in NXT. Undisputed Era, the four of them. Samoa Joe, Ciampa, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. There's a lot of ROH guys. So that's why it felt. But it was also just, the quality of matches felt like big-time ROH matches all the time. It was just, I don't know if they can ever get back to that. I don't know if they can ever get back to Black and Gold. What NXT is now is really good. They've been doing really good under Shawn. Shawn Michaels has been doing a fantastic job once they cut the 2.0 bullshit. But, yeah, no. Just, Black and Gold was it was like in 2006 when my favorite wrestling was TNA. When Christian was over there, we were getting Joe and Angle and just all that. It's like, that was some of my favorite stuff at the time. And then when we had Black and Gold, when it was Hey, Johnny and Ciampa are best friends. Oh my God, Ciampa just turned on Johnny. Undisputed Era is coming up. They're becoming the biggest, hottest thing in NXT. Now we got War Games in NXT. Like, it was just, all of that was just a spectacular moment. Some of the best stuff in pro wrestling on those shows and those takeovers. Like, there were takeovers that rivaled WrestleManias as far as quality does go, match quality. You have a 5-match takeover that was better than a 10-match WrestleMania at times. As far as this 6-man tag team match does go, Gargano made the hot tag early on before tagging in The Miz, who wanted to get his hands on Gunther. Miz hammered away at Gunther and hit a springboard crossbody. Miz hit the it kicks, but Gunther blocked one and smashed him with a shot. Gunther replied to Boston Crab, but Ciampa broke it up with a knee strike. Kaiser and Vinci took out Ciampa before more Miz and Gargano hit. Oh, excuse me. Like, choking stuff up. Let me rephrase that. Let me read that again. Kaiser and Vinci took out Ciampa moments before Miz and Gargano hit Kaiser and Vinci with tilt-a-whirl DDTs. Miz then put Gunther in a figure 4, while Gargano put Kaiser in the Gargano escape. But Gunther managed to tag out. Vinci then hit a springboard elbow drop, but Miz fought back in the skull-crushing finale to pin Vinci to pick up the victory. The crowd was really into this match, and they really loved Miz, the hometown boy. We got a couple of things announced for next week's show. Damian Priest and Finn Balor will defend the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the Creed Brothers, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven will defend the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. So Gunther was berating Imperium backstage before The Miz would come up. He's like, "What do you want?" And Miz is like, "I want another shot at the IC title." He's like, "No." Miz is like, "I won tonight. I want another shot at the IC title." And Gunther was like, "All right, you know what? Here's the deal. You can have one more shot at my title, but when you lose, because I'm not, you can never challenge for this title ever again as long as I have it." And Miz is like, "All right, I accept." So I think this could be another big match for the January 1 show. Got the world title match with Seth and Drew, Nia and Becky, Gunther and Miz for the IC title. Yeah. So then we got Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. They wrestled for 18 minutes, and then Nakamura blows the mist, causes a DQ after a very good match. Great main event till the shit show finish. Nakamura maintained control early on before going to a break. Rhodes' comeback attempt was quickly cut off after the break when Nakamura countered a Cody Cutter into an armbar, which was a cool looking spot. Rhodes then got a rope break, so Nakamura followed this up with a sliding German and a flying knee for a 2. Nakamura went for a Kinshasa, but Rhodes kicked his leg out from under him. He followed this up with consecutive dragon screws, including one between the ropes. Rhodes hit a reverse vertical suplex and applied a single leg Boston Crab, but Nakamura got to the ropes. Rhodes then hit a suicide dive, which led to another break. They traded strikes until Rhodes hit a power slam. Nakamura applied a sleeper hold, but Rhodes broke out of it and hit a disaster kick for a 2. Rhodes then followed this up with some jabs, a bionic elbow, and a Cody Cutter. Rhodes set up for a crossroads, and that's when Nakamura slipped out and sprayed the red mist in Cody's face. Cody tried fighting back, but was blinded by the mist and couldn't hit Nakamura. Nakamura kicked the legs out from Cody, hit him with a Kinshasa to the back of the head, and started pummeling him. Nakamura then got out of the ring and went to grab a chair for the Creed brothers, of all people, what the shit, would run out to make the save. Nakamura left. Officials then helped Rhodes to his feet. Nakamura ran back down and hit a Kinshasa. The Creeds and the officials checked on Rhodes, and Nakamura left. Why the Creeds? Like, I get it. They love the Creeds. Triple H loves the Creeds. He wants to push them big. But why the Creeds helping Cody? I don't get it at all. I don't get that at all. I'm flabbergasted. Why are the Creeds coming out to help Cody Rhodes? This just makes no sense. I don't understand any of that. But at the same time, it's like, who could have came out to help Cody? Who? Ricochet, maybe? Jey Uso? Because Ricochet's got the past with Nakamura. Jay and Cody have been teaming in their friendship and yeet yeet, but it's the Creed brothers. Is this a group? Is this a stable? Is this a faction now? Is Cody going to go challenge Roman at WrestleMania and have the Creeds by his side to combat Jimmy and Solo? I don't know. I honestly don't know what this Creed brother integration is. It just doesn't make sense and has left me kind of dumbfounded. But with that, that was Monday Night Raw. A good show, an easy to watch show. Wouldn't call it a great show or anything, but yeah, a show that I enjoyed. But now you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. As far as all the polls do go, let's refresh these right here. Refresh. Oh, refresh. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 100% that voted liked the show. As far as the X poll does go, 77% likes the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 79% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. As far as the comments do go, one says, pretty good overall. I liked it. First says 6 out of 10, serviceable, had some good and bad. My hometown crowd was solid. I don't know if I'd say that crowd was solid, because again, when Becky came out, there were guys just in the crowd like this. And this person says, boring, no CM Punk match. Okay. I don't think Punk wrestles. I don't think Punk has an actual match to the Rumble. Maybe Jan 1, maybe January 1st. But I honestly, I can see them teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing Punk after Punk after Punk after Punk appearance. And then they go, you know, Punk's been back for about a month and a half now, 2 months almost. Well, Rumble's coming up, and that is going to be Punk's first match. So I think that's going to be the thing. And then YouTube live poll, 77% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and nobody didn't like it. That's a good one. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Excuse me. Just a little bit, I will be live, Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, playing some games. Not sure what we're going to play yet, but I'm going to go over there, play some games, have some fun, and hang out with you guys a little bit more. So again, Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Follow me over there. That way you get the notification and know when I do go live. So with that, guys, have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you back here Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. May have Luke with me as well. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.